Now we're going to move to some practical questions where I have three, and the first is for parents amongst us or listening online who are not able for whatever reason to home educate, and the question is, what should they look for in a school?
Well, looking for is easier said than done. I think they ought to look for certain things in the school, and they must work hard to find out what is in that school. Don't assume, I think, the school is necessarily great. I think some schools are so bad, personally, that it's best to home educate. They're the exception. But they ought to look for certain things. Most schools are now required to say what they do on the website. Look at what they claim to do in terms of RE, in terms of worship, in terms of personal education. Look at what they say they do and ask questions of the school. I mean, I know it's an effort, but you ought to go and see the head. And don't be put off by other people. The head, at the end of the day, is in charge of the school. He may delegate to others, but ultimately he's responsible. Find out what the school does in terms of worship, in terms of RE, in terms of personal education. What is the content and how is that taught? So to look for that, I think.
Are there any dangers that parents should be alert for?
I think the dangers are, I'm probably being terribly controversial here, I think one of the most dangerous subjects in the curriculum is not RE, but it's English.
Yeah.
Because in my experience over the years, English is taught by people who've got all kinds of agenda, most of which is anti-Christian. So look at what is being taught in English, look at what is being, in terms of texts which are chosen for children to read, look at that carefully and find out, what is taught, because I think that's an area of great concern. Now, this may seem trivial, I think. Also, going to a school, what's it look like in terms, is it scattered litter? That may sound trivial, but I think some schools are. I think the state of a school reflects the mind of the head teacher and his staff and her staff. So, on that,
John, I've one more question. We've talked about the parents' responsibility and the difference between delegating the teaching and completely abdicating responsibility. So for those parents who've delegated responsibility to a local school, their child goes to school, comes back at the end of the day, that's the pattern. What can the parents do to make sure that the learning is wisdom and not just godless knowledge?
I think it seems an obvious thing to say, talk to their children. Actually, when they get home, talk to the children. What are you being taught? Find out. I know as they get older, and they become adolescent, communication is difficult. Some children just grunt. They don't speak at all, but talk to your children. Try and find out what is going on there. That is important, I think. Take an interest in what they're doing as well. Talk to the children. What are you learning at school? Now, hopefully they say something. But I think that is important. Find out by talking to children what is going on.